Howdy, y'all. Not too much going on this episode, but this is the back bedroom, the master bedroom, and I ended up finding an inexpensive light fan unit that I thought looked pretty cool. So we're gonna try it out. But yeah, right now we're just putting the little X bracket in there, and then we're stripping the wires. And the fan light came with this cool little S hook that holds it up there, so you can focus on getting the electrical caps on the wires to get them all spliced together. So that's what we're working on there. And yeah, it's a pretty cool little unit for what I paid for it. At least I think so. And it comes with these little LED bulbs that look, it looks like you can see the filaments. And those little glass things around them are just plastic, but that's all good. So we got her set up there. And then here we're just setting up a little bracket. It's just going to be temporary for putting the controller that came with it. And since it has its own controller, I was able to just put a toggle switch in there. But it went in there nice and easy. And then we'll give you a little rundown on how this all worked out. All right. Hope you enjoy it. All right, so there it is. We have just that light, or we can add these, or just turn it down so they're both at the same level. So that's pretty good. And we just use a single toggle switch instead of like, your standard adjustable fan switch, because it came with this remote to make it simple like that. And then we just can't do any dimming on the lights, it's a $50 fan. What do you want? And let's see, so you obviously got the lights from in here, and then you can turn on the fan. And at level 1, I can kind of hear it. Not too bad. It might be good ambient white noise when trying to sleep. And then you have like 6 settings, so we'll bump it up to 6 here. It's pretty loud, to be expected. So I can feel it. It's not directly over where I'm going to be sleeping, so it won't be, keeping me too cool in the summertime. But then again, it's Washington, and I do have a AC mini split, so just kind of have to have a cool source from some point. And I can kind of feel it, circulating out throughout the room as is here. It's not a big room, so yeah, it's pretty good. Not too bad for 50 bucks. This is forward, so it's blowing the air down. And then you have a reverse switch so it can go the opposite direction. And it looks like we have some programmable settings, so you can have it on for an hour, 2 hours, or 4 hours. So, when you go to bed, if it's hot, it usually gets cold by the morning. So you just set it for, say, 4 hours. So when you wake up in the morning, it'll be stopped and you'll be nice and cool. Anyway, so pretty stoked on that for 50 bucks. Not too bad. Hopefully it'll last. Time will tell. Right, y'all, hope you enjoyed that little project, and stay tuned for more. All right, so I haven't done anything with the shower since the last video. Maybe I will before the end of this video, but we picked this vanity up the other day, or today. It's really hard to find a small vanity that actually has drawers on it, and so I've been searching for a while. I can find the ones with the 2 doors and then maybe like faux drawers on top, that don't pull out. But yeah, I did find one a little while back, but the drawers are on that side and they wouldn't work because of the vent pipe back there. And it was a little far away from me, so I didn't want to drive all the way to get it. And someone picked it up for me, but this one they were asking 75 and I offered them 50. They waited a few days, then got back to me and said, come and get it. I didn't really want this sink top. I'll use it for now. We'll see, maybe it'll be there for a year or whatever until I get around to making the one that I really want. But I was really happy to find one with drawers that gave me enough room to sit here and think on the throne. And yeah, so it's just enough room to be comfortable there, so that's great. And then I'll either put a little dispenser here for the teepee or on the wall, or maybe get one of those stands that you can move around. So we shall see. I've had this for a while. I might get a different one. Actually, I'm almost positive I will, because I didn't put the electrical for the vanity light behind the wall because what my idea was to make like an built-in that kind of sits off the wall, you know, or encompasses this area, because when I put the ceiling fan in, I didn't want to drill another hole through the ceiling. I wanted to, you know, have it run along there above the ceiling, but then come down at the end and go out the wall, probably right in the back there. And so it can be covered up with a built-in, you know, vanity light and vanity itself. So we'll see how I configure that at some point. But for now, we just threw that up there. And then this thing here came with this little on-wall cabinet for towels and other knicky-knacks in this little bathroom. So that worked. It's not really a design I like, you know, kind of coming around like this, kind of outdated. So maybe I'll cut it in, square it off, or do something at some point. But again, like probably a year or two from now, because I got other things that need to be done. And this thing's been hanging around since, you know, I bought the house. It's going to be relegated to shop space because it's all gross. But for somehow it just it hangs on. So we'll throw it on the wall for now. And then 5 years from now, I'll take it down, watch. But anyway, so there's that. Pretty cool. And oh yes, not to be outdone by the bathroom, we made some changes up here in the kitchen. If you saw my older videos, you saw that I got like an old style cabinet sections for up here. I didn't really like them because they were, you know, the drawers were the ones that were just sitting on top of wood slats of very 50s and didn't have rollers. And I found this one at the Habitat store. I think I paid $120 for it, which is usually more than I like to pay for used things, but it's really nice. I do like this maple look, but in the end, I will paint over it. I was gonna go with, you know, a lot of shaker style cabinets like this one here, but I see that everybody's doing that these days, so I just think it's overdone and it's gonna fall out of style soon, which, I mean, in the end, who cares? You know, it's all whatever you like. But I do like this. I mean, it still has a little bit of the shaker style in a way, but then some block stuff here, and I really like that. So we'll keep it. And they're on, you know, casters. They're not the soft close. I mean, maybe I can they're on the don't close. But someday I will upgrade those. And it comes with a pretty cool cutting board in there. And I like that in here, it had a couple pull-out drawers, so that's pretty fancy. So definitely worth what I paid for it then, for sure. And it was the dimensions that I wanted and needed. You know, needs a little adjusting here and there, but you know, we'll worry about that down the road. So anyway, that's, you know, pretty good. And then I had, you know, two of these, one on each side of here, which I liked, but it was kind of funny. I bought these at the same time and didn't realize they were slightly different designs. The other one that was here was like right up against, there was no gap here and then no gap here. So it was like, I don't know, it was weird that they were right next to each other and looked like they were in the same kitchen, but two different designs. So we'll keep one of them. Obviously it works really well right there. And then this was great here. I picked this thing up from some folks. I had to drive all the way up to Bothell. And I'm down in Shelton, Washington. It's quite a ways, but luckily my brother lives up near there. So it gave me an excuse to go see him. And I grew up in that area. So it was a nostalgia tour. But the dimensions were perfect. You know, it's open back here, and the lady was like, you're sure it's that you can see that it's open there? I was like, no, it's perfect, because there's gonna be a stove right there covering it, and this goes, you know, on back through there. And what I had here was just a janky thing that I was trying to rebuild. So this was free, you know, plus the 40-50 bucks it cost me in gas to go get it. But hey, we're missing a pull-out cutting board here. We can make one of those anytime, but it was nice that it had drawers on rollers. Excuse me. Yeah, so anyway, yeah, so that works out great. I'll probably, the front faces come off of this with just a couple screws here. So I will probably build those to match these blocks here. So in the end, they will match, and then I'll match this front drawer with this style here, which shouldn't be too hard. I mean, it's almost there, but not quite. So we'll do that, and then I have to figure out how to get this finished properly, because this cabinet was made originally for, you know, your standard on counter sinks, not farmhouse. So this was the front for that. So We'll just have to cut it down here somewhere and then bring like this piece across down here and then redo the front drawers. And hopefully that'll work out there. But yeah, looking good. So, you know, I'll just take the old drawers that are set up that I had here, just taking them back to the Habitat store. And so that bunch that I bought was only $100, so not really a throwaway because it had these two uppers as well, and I'll use this skinny one right there and the bottom one right there. And then it did come with these two, and they're going to stay there. Like I talked about before, obviously I'm going to raise this one up against the wall so there'll be a gap right there. But yeah, so, you know, we'll just think of those two and these two that I bought for $100, so still not too bad. So there's that, and we'll do some work. All right, so couldn't forget about this. We're making our way over to the low rent district of my property. Although, well, I guess at this time, the whole property is kind of low rent district. So this is the ultra low rent district, but one of these days we'll gentrify this and class it up a bit. But yeah, I stopped by the Habitat store as I often do, even if I don't know if I need something or not. And I found this, which is some vinyl siding pieces that look like the cedar shakes. And there's about 4 different colors, but I did look up online before I bought them and was like, can you paint this stuff? And sure enough, supposedly you can. So that's what we will do. And they were selling these for $2 a sheet. And the lady said that a box that they comes in about 10 per box, and retail they're about $200. So $2 a sheet wasn't bad at all. And I counted it out, there was I thought about 106, and so they gave me a package deal and just sold me all of them as a bundle of 100, so it was $200. So it ended up being 109 of these when I got it home. So 109, just about $200 plus tax. So I paid what normally would have been $200 for 10 sheets. So instead of $2,000, I paid $200. So awesome. And what I'm gonna use this for is the skirting on my house, which there is none right now. And I was gonna use, because I actually have cedar bevel siding, a ton of it. So I was gonna use that, but it'll be so close to the ground and most, you know, all around the perimeter that it would probably rot at some point. It is cedar, but it will still rot at some point. So this stuff will be much better. And I do plan on using bevel siding just below each window, you know, to give a little style at some point. But yeah, we'll use that. And so that was a bonus. You know, haven't been doing too much otherwise than just picking up the cabinets and for the bathroom, the kitchen, and doing that little fan install. So other things, just been working on my truck here. We got this big pile of scrap metal and all these beer cans. There were some squatters down the street, and the owner finally got them out, cleaning the house to sell. And I was walking my dogs by, and I knew these beer cans were all over, and most of them were already bagged. I was like, hey, you want to get rid of those? And he's like, sure. So went and picked them up, and so we'll take them to the scrap metal place pretty soon. It's on my way to work, and so that'll be, you know, $30 or so. So that'll be good. But yeah, that's all I've been doing since the weather's nice, just kind of hanging out outside, you know, start doing some organizing around here on the outside, getting rid of some sticks. And there's my whatever, lot over here that's been cleared. And so they've made a couple big brush piles and got all the logs out of here that they're going to get. And the guy that lives over here is just chopping all these pieces up for cordwood that he sells. So he's been keeping busy, but yeah, I'll get more sun in the summer, that's for sure. And a new neighbor. Someday I'll put a fence there. But anyway, so that's all that's been going on. And I got to do more work up near my mom's house next week, so I don't know how much I'll be getting done around here again. But slowly but surely, we'll get some more done. So stay along on the adventures, and hope you all enjoyed it. And we'll talk to you soon. Take care.